Hello friends, this is Thag with Thag's Dino Reviews and Paleopolitics. And today we're looking at a very special dinosaur. And this is him, GIGANOTOSAURUS from the Hammond collection by Mattel. And this is one beautiful dinosaur. Alright, when you get this model in hand, the first thing you will notice is that the model itself is completely different than anything you've seen on any post. Mattel has went to the trouble to take this to the next level. Starting at the skull, you can see that once again Mattel has just nailed it with great scale detail. Beautiful glass eyes and excellent dentition, very authentic looking. Random sizes with a slight stain. The interior of the mouth is a reddish pink, and there are two membranes on either side of the mandible where it meets the top of the skull and where the cheek pouches would be. And it really, the whole thing just looks great. On the top of the skull you can see brow ridges. The skull shows very little shrink wrap and a large diversity of scale size, from pebble-like scales in the snout all the way back to much larger scales at the joint between the base of the skull and the mandible. At the top of the skull you can see the beginnings of the two-tone striping pattern. The base color of the body is a light gray, and the patterning for the stripes is a dark gray. It starts at the snout, goes across the skull, across the brow ridge, and then actually goes down to the mandible. Now on the mandible, as usual, about halfway back, Mattel starts the counter shading, and that is a light beige. And really, actually, very nice. As we transition across the neck, we see the beginnings of the dermal spines and some flanking rows of osteoderms. Again, great scalation, and the counter shading continues right down to the chest. As we enter the area of the back, we see the dermal spines start to increase in size, very representative of the animal in the movie. The dermal spines, the osteoderms, and the great scalation continue, as well as the paint pattern, which continues across the back, down the sides of the torso, and actually down the sides of the upper legs. The counter shading also continues under the stomach and up to the base of the tail. I'll tell you something, I just want to interject this right here. This is one fantastic model. I can't believe the quality that's in this. Everything, for the most part, is proportional. The paint job is great, and I love it. Moving forward, we look at the arms and the legs on GIGANOTOSAURUS, and here we see, again, on the forearms, you can see the really wonderful scale detail. The hands have the armored scutes on the back of the digits, and they're really beautiful. And the claws are well sculpted. On the legs, we have the same thing in the back, excellent scale detail. We have armored scutes on the pez, and really wonderfully proportioned claws, and for that matter the pez themselves. If you look to the rear of that too, you'll see a unique feature on that, and this is the hallux, or as you probably know more commonly by the name of the dew claw. and they're painted. Now the forearms and the lower rear legs have none of the dark gray paint pattern that the back and neck have, or the tail. They're just basically the light gray. However, all of the claws are painted with a dark gray, including the hallux, and they look beautiful. I mean, it is a really good job. It's really hard to fault Mattel on their paint jobs. They're just that good. Now we come to the last part of the review, and that's the tail. And the tail is excellent. It is properly proportioned to the whole body. The base of the tail, out about a quarter of the way, is a hard plastic, 2 points of articulation, and the rest of the tail is a soft latex material with a bendable wire inside of it, and it gives great articulation. The paint job continues with the light gray. The dark gray striping pattern continues all the way out to about 3/4 of the distance of the tail, which is pretty standard for Mattel. The counter shading underneath goes out about 1/3 of the way and ends. Also pretty standard for Mattel. It's very proportional, as I said, and I really like the way it finishes out this model. It's absolutely 100% spot on. This is one of the best tails that I've seen from Mattel, and as far as I'm concerned, yes, it's heavy enough to knock down palm trees. Alright, so where does this leave us? Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is one top flight model. Absolutely one that must be in your collection. This one checks all the boxes, from a great sculpt to a great paint job to proportionality and attention to detail, and probably the biggest thing of all, the price. At $49.95, this is a bargain. Mattel really hit it on this one, and I hope they do it in the future on all the others upcoming. And I hope someday they do this with a new line that features real dinosaurs. Alright, one more thing. Sadly, another dinosaur skeleton is coming up for auction. And I know what you're thinking, but it's true. It's an Apatosaurus. It's named Vulcane, and it's comes from Wyoming. It was found in 2019. It's 69 feet long, so it's probably an adult, and it has 80% of its bones. There's not really much data on it. Supposedly all the data with location and everything is going to come with the purchase. Now it's due to be auctioned in November. I think November 16th. Anyway, when I get more information, I will let you know. In the meantime, I'm Thag, and I'll catch you on the rebound.